I'm sitting here recording and you turn on fucking music. I don't know. Alright. Sorry for the delay, guys. I'm Joshua Ozzy with the International Vapers Lounge. Been gone for a little bit. I apologize. I moved to a new location, and with that, I didn't have internet for a while. So therefore I couldn't get on here and upload reviews and stuff like that. So I've waited. But with that, I'm going to have several reviews get ready to come out here shortly. But for our review today, we're going to do one on the new Wick'T, or the Wick'T, however you want to pronounce it. But it is the tank version of the original Wick'T RDA. This has been in production for a while. They got them out. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to break it down. Show you the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly. Give you my views, my thoughts on it, things I feel should be changed or should have been different about it. Basically my own thoughts and views on everything, okay? So with that, when we go down and I break it down, I've already got it built. I've already got a build that I've been using for a while. I'm not going to take it out. I'll tell you what my build is, what I found the best for it. Also, give you some opinions and options as far as mesh wicking. You will see what's in mine right now, because I do have mesh straws. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go back to school to learn English because I'm all gibberish today. And then I'm going to give you some of the insight and updates on an issue that was found out with the Wick'T. Okay, it is being fixed and it's about to be ready to be fixed for everybody. I've been in contact with the maker just to keep everybody updated through our group, and now that the video is going to go up, it's going to be there as well, as they've kept the group there up. I will also give you insight of how to obtain one, possibly, or how to go about trying to obtain one through the Facebook group itself, which I will put in the comments below. And if you haven't seen it, look through my channel. There's only a few videos right now, but you can go see the review on the Wick'T. The Wick'T, sorry. See? Not a good day for me. While I'm doing this, you guys are going to see another delay after I get a couple videos up. I'm going to be on vacation back in the U.S. So I am not bringing the camera and everything back over there with me. It's too much to carry around. Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get ready to break it down, talk about it, bring it back up on top, and I'm going to tell you my views and thoughts on it, and give you any other information that I think is pertinent for all this. So without further ado, let's bring it down. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the packaging you're going to get the new Wick'T in. Very nice, same style that they had, the nice protective zippered up case with the new logo compared to the old one which just said Wick'T on it. This is the old box, but same design, same pouch. Okay, comes inside. It has all your accessories. I've taken them out for right now. So you get this. The polished cap will be in. The deck will be separate. The barrel will be separate. It'll all be basically broken down, so you have to put it together. So then you learn. Comes with the Ultim barrel, certificate of authenticity. Your air block. This is one of the air blocks, which is the 4-hole air block, which I believe they're 1 mil by 4. Then you get the new pitchfork style, as they call it, 3 holes into 1. If I remember right, they're 1.5 millimeters into a 2 millimeter hole. And then you get the new design block, which has a little bit more restrictive, wide open style. It's not like the original Wick'T, which was fully open. Okay. And then you get the other top cap, which is a black PMMA cap, which I do not personally like. Feels cheap. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, a lot of people like them, but not me. Has the insert already installed for you, so you can put a 510. If you go in and you pop this out, you can put an 810 drip tip in there. This is the original black cap, which was, I believe, Delrin. At least I believe so, because the texture feels more like Delrin. And this just felt better overall to me. I like the way aesthetically this one looks better and everything. So that's just my view on that. So we're going to break this down real quick. Like I said, I'm not going to build it. I've already got it built and wicked, ready to go. But I am going to talk about it. I'm going to give you some insight on it. So first, we're going to take out the 510 pin, because here's the Allen key that comes with the kit. Oh, I'm sorry. And the other thing, your peripheral pouch comes with it. It's studded 510 pin. Right now, I've got the squonking pin in it. Extra O-rings, post screws, and you also are going to get an additional block screw. Okay, this thing will focus. There we go. As well, so an additional some smaller O-rings, which are the O-rings that go in the center that seals your 510 pin inside. So just take off the top cap, which comes with the top cap drip tip. Machining on this, even though I've been using it, I'll let you know when I first got it, was impeccable, flawless. No burrs, no machining marks, no oil, no nothing. It was amazing. The deck, so there's the new block that comes with it. The deck, this is where my problem comes in with this deck. The deck is too congested. I understand getting a more, what's the word, reduced chamber, but the way this positive post, in my opinion, came out, it's too far in to the deck itself. They should have kept, in my opinion, this style deck. Okay, it's very easy to still remain and put a plug in this, make it a solid post across, drill your hole in, put your cut in where, if you're gonna have a removable, piece inside, and then put your block on the opposite side and have an insulator come there and separate it. Would have been cutting a lot of issues out and retaining the deck size, because you can see the room in here, 3 mil coil, no problem. In here, there's no room. I think at that point it would be pure mount the lung only. You can't do anything. You can't put any big, exotic builds in this. I'll tell you right now, I put a 26 or 28 gauge in here, and it was still pretty restrictive for me. Exotic. It was a 28 by 2 by 38. So with that, you'll see the build I've got in here is a 2.5 mil coil. It's 30 by 2 by 38. There's the new design on the bottom with the serial number and roughly what they're running, 680. So it's number 161, which is also listed on the back. Okay, so with that, let's break it down, and I'm going to show you the final issue with this. This is the biggest complaint that everybody's been having with this this RDA. I already had it loose, so I already knew that. There we go, pop it out. And the problem is this barrel. Okay, this and the Ultim barrel. The barrels came in after the machining was done. It was basically milled 0.02 mils off. Okay, so what that did is it caused the issue so that when you put it together, the 510 pin, you'd have to back it out a little bit, or else your readings will be up, down, be really, really sporadic. Okay, so with that, it was causing a lot of problems. And then in here, so one thing I'm going to show you on the bottom deck, there's where your block is. So you take that screw out, your block comes out. To build it, you really have to take the block out to really get your build set properly, to get it pulled tight, straightened up, and everything else. And I think that's the biggest flaw for me, was having to do so much work for it. But I understand it's a tank, so there's going to be a little bit of room. But if this setup would have been, the post would have been back here versus all the way up inside of the deck, a lot of that issue would be eliminated, because even on the Wick'T, or the Wick'T, the D, whatever, funny, they had to cut out so you can put your rod and stuff inside. So, mesh straws, everybody's been questioning which is better. Well, I've tried both ways, with pure cotton going in from the bottom and inside to mesh straws. Mesh straws are the best. What you want to do is buy stainless steel 304 400. So there's like 200, 300, 400 grade, I guess, stainless steel or coarse or whatever, like sandpaper, I guess. 400 is really fine. You're going to roll it up in a straw. I used a 2 millimeter coiling jig rod, stuck it in the center right there, and I wrapped it around and I tightened it all the way down, and I kept going until I got it to where I wanted, where it fit in the holes. Then what I did is I held it with tweezers. You oxidize it, you burn it for a little bit. Then you take some juice, drip it on there, burn it again, That's called quenching the mesh. What that does, it helps basically saturate the juice in, breaking the mesh in and everything, so it kind of eliminates that metal. Do it a couple times. Set your mesh in. Once everything fits in right, you're good to go. So all you had to do is take this, get some, like I use 2000 grit, and the personal reason why I went out and picked up 2000 grit, I'm trying to see if I can find where I used mine. There it is. 2000 grit sandpaper. You just put a couple drops of water on top. You take your barrel and you roll it. Yeah, not roll it, but you go in a fucking circular motion, okay? Jesus, I can't think straight today. And then you go the opposite way, and you do it again the other way, and then you just check your clearance. And the way you check the clearance is you're going to put your deck together like this. All right. And you're going to take your barrel, you're going to measure it in, you're going to see if it'll slip in. So now mine fits in, no problem. Okay, so it's got the perfect resistance, so it's not where I can't move it, but it's also not going to fall out either. So this is exactly where you want to get it once you're sanding it. And the reason why I chose 2000 grit, and I explained this for you, is that 2000 grit will actually come back and polish it. So you're not going to have any sanding marks on here. There's not going to be any burrs on it. You don't have nothing that comes inside, so you don't have to run it inside to try to deburr it. Everything becomes perfect. It takes just enough off, but with 2000 grit, it will do it that quick. So boom, your shit's done. And it literally took me 2 to 3 minutes, and boom, my barrel was fixed, and I had no issues at all. They are, however, bringing new barrels. They're making them right now. I think today or tomorrow they're going to be done, and they're going to start getting things together so they can be shipped out to everybody, and everybody can get the new replacement barrels. But for the fix, just sand them down, and you can use it with no problem. 3 minutes of your time. That's a temporary fix, because one thing is good is that the modder is not letting people just go. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back on top. I'm going to put it back together, put my juice back in it, and bring it on top. Give my, my final thoughts on everything, and that'll be it for this. See you back up on top. How look? Look good?
Ay, naku, naka-record na.
You're not supposed to say nothing.
Sabi ko, 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so I'm looking good now. Getting ready for this. Alright, back on top with the Wick'T. So, wicked up, juiced up, as you can see. I let it break in for a few minutes. I'm using something different now. I got, one of my buddies sent me some Mavation X, Mavolution, whatever the fuck it's called, from the States. If I remember, it's from North Carolina. So it just takes a little bit for me to kind of get used to it, because I just have a little bit of a break-in, but it's very good actually. But anyway, back onto the tank. Overall, the tank is a great tank. My views on it is that a lot of people are complaining because the barrels are off. Okay, that's an understandable viewpoint, because between the time that they were making this to the time that it came out, there was 4 prototypes, I believe, out, and if there was an issue then, it should have been resolved. If they knew this. If they didn't, it should have been tested. It was part of QC. You QC your product before it goes out. Make sure shit is fit right. Yes, people were saying just loosen the 510 pin. That's a big to me, and a lot of people, because a 510 pin is a safety issue. You're losing connection with everything. Yes, you kind of stabilize a little bit better because of it. Yes, it wasn't a bad fix for it. Most modders will tell you to go get some sandpaper, like most of us have done, and sand it down. And that'd be it. No. So the praise that I give back to the modder himself is the fact that he went out of his way to make brand new barrels. An Ultim and a PMMA clear. Or frosted. Whatever. I want frosted. I want some frosted flakes, but I gotta get milk. Anyway, off topic there. Fat people and food, we always are thinking about it. But yeah, so that's a big issue for people, but the thing is, at the end of the day, it's being fixed, it's being corrected a better way, out of his pocket, his expenses, whatever's going on. And you know what? That's 2 thumbs up, for them, because Most people won't do that for you. Okay, the tank came in. Other than that, if you took away the .02 millimeters, you're talking 20 thousandths, I think it is, if I remember, if the measurement's right. Was it? You know, it's a minor flaw, but it's a flaw that has upset some people because of, you know, throwing the ohms off. But it's being fixed. The fix temporary until you get that new barrel, which should be ready in the next couple days to start getting ready to be sending out. It's some 2,000 grit sandpaper. Buy some 2,000 grit sandpaper. Maybe cost you 20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, $1. I don't know, for a big ass sheet of it. Okay, a little bit of water, go in there. It'll polish it at the same time, so it'll look like it just came, you know, from them, and there's no burrs on it. The things, like I said, I don't particularly, you know, like the way the deck was designed, because the posts are taking up the space. You had space in the back that it could have been slid back. You had space on the other side that it could have been slid back. You know, to give more, you know, more room in there for building, for people who like those crazy coils. Think about them. But, you know, at the end of the day, one big plus that they did is that they didn't get greedy. You can take your blocks off the Wick'T or the Wick'T RDA, which I also got number 161 of, and put it on the Wick'T. Wick'T. Why does it sound the same? Get a T or a D? Don't sound right to me. No. So what I've got mine on is the Tiny V version 2.5. As far as squonking, squeeze it down, it goes up, and you'll hear it. That was a little too much for me, but there, it sucked it back. I haven't been using it, you know, much lately. It goes up. You over squonk a little bit, but not do as excessive as I did just now. Yeah, because I filled everything up. And it'll suck some back down if you go just a little bit past where it is. If you pay attention, you won't do what I just did. But great. It's a great device. Great tank. Hands down. Very, very good flavor. Price point's 120 US plus shipping. And you know, I see that it's very worthwhile to have one. Machining, other than the one blemish on this, because the Wick'T, the RDA itself had no blemishes, no issues, no nothing. Okay, a mistake was made. We're all human here, you know. It's a learning lesson for next time. You know, I'm sure they're gonna come out with more products. You know, there's nothing to sit here and bash them for. I would always I would buy another product from him, like, because of how good he is, you know, because of how stand-up he is. That, in my books, makes having this and buying his products worthwhile. Because it's not an argument of, what happened, did you know, okay, you just got a flaw, that's it. No, this was something when they found out, they instantly went back to the boards. What could they do? They put it out, here's a temporary fix, and they said it straight up, temporary fix. This is not the end-all solution of loosening your 510. Once I was on the phone with him, I actually was live with him on chat, and was talking back and forth, and he said, hey bro, here's what we figured out. And I talked to him, I said, okay, well, you know, you have two options. Either make a little bit longer 510 pin, if that's going to be easier for you and cheaper, because maybe barrels will cost too much, you know, because you're making 2 barrels for, say, almost 1,000 of these. So you're looking at 2,000 barrels have to be made. So, I don't know. But I'm not going to ramble too much. Overall, build quality, if I gave it a scale from 1 to 10, as far as quality, if I set aside the fact that the barrel was messed up, build quality, or, yeah, like build, machining, stuff like that, what would I rate it at? I'd say probably around a 6. Only because I don't particularly think they've really put enough time into the deck itself to make it the most user-friendly and, you know, what's called space management, you know, I would say on it, because of the fact of the spacing that you still have between the deck and going forward. Because even with the threads and everything, you can still make, you know, a flush out thing with it, with a divided with the insulator, you know, and had space on it. The deck off the Wick'T RDA was amazing. It was perfectly done. Why not keep the same thing and just incorporate inside a little bit larger insulator ring? That's the only thing I can think of for those two. But as far as machining itself, like on the deck, the bottom plate, the screws, everything else, flawless. Would I suggest it? Yeah, I'd suggest to get one if you can. The best place to pick these up if you want it brand new right now is Waiting for the List, which is on the Wick'T Facebook group. I would link it in the description below. And also, there's some used ones out there because people just don't want to wait and they're being impatient. But that's their choice. You know, they spent the money, they don't want it. Okay, so you have places like Mikey's Mod Mart, high-end Addy Trader, and there's a Facebook groups that you can find these on sometimes. They've been coming up lately. You know, groups like Squawk America will get these again, I believe, and they're going to get people out. So they're going to come back out with a second list, and obviously with the second rotation that comes out, you're not going to have the barrel issue. They're already going to be fixed. So other than that, there's nothing bad about it. The good pros on it, able to swap out your caps. You don't have to buy caps if you already had caps for the Wick'T because you already own the RDA version. They fit on here with no problems. The blocks fit both sides, no problems. There's no issues. It's not any type of fitment or adjustment for them. So you have more versatility with that. The only thing I also didn't like was the cap. I do not like the black PMMA cap. I know when they were making it, they made it for an 810 drip tip because some people like 810s, and it's rare to find a single coil with an 810 drip tip. So the afterthought was putting in a plug basically in there so you can put a 510 in and remove it and put an 810 in it. To me, that's an afterthought. You know, it should have just been, hey, make an adapter and put it in the kit so people had the option for it like everybody else does. But that's just nitpickiness to me. But other than that, the tank is worth it. It's a good tank. I enjoy it. Mesh wicks are really good. That's the best thing for me. Like I said, 2mm, some 304 stainless steel mesh, 400, and you wrap it up like a straw with like a 1.5, 1 mil, 2 mil bit inside of it. So you have a little hole in it. Roll it up. Take a pair of ceramic tweezers and hold the mesh. Oxidize it. You know, get all of it really good. Juice it up. You know, heat it up again, oxidize it again, or not oxidize, juice it up again, and burn it again. Do it about 3 times, called quenching the mesh. It basically helps get away that metal taste out of the mesh when you start quenching it. The oxidation helps also with it, and also make sure it's clean with your oils, your oily fingers and stuff. Once you get done rolling and everything's good, and you got them on tweezers, just set them inside your tank. All you have to do if you switch juices, take out the mesh wick. You don't have to throw it away. Clean it under some water, heat it up again to get the water out of it, or else you're going to be, you know, vaping on some water for a while, and put them right back in, put your juice back in, and put your cotton on, you know, preload your cotton up with some juice on there. When that's done, those mesh wicks, fuck, I can't speak English today, will start basically just keeping up juice. You know, it works really, really well. Like, even when I vape on this, the wicking just stays going. I've never had a dry hit once with it with the mesh wicks inside, and I noticed with the mesh wicks I go through juice a lot quicker, so just be ready for that because it doesn't stop. You're not having to worry and lean on the tilt to get juice to it. It's a great RDA, RDTA, RTA, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's a guinea tank. Okay, that's what it is. Guinea, Genesis, girl, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but it's very well done. It's thoroughly better than the Avocado 24. I tell you that shit right now. It's hands down one of the better ones, if not the best over those. I really like it. The flavor is there. The juice I'm vaping on right now is the One, which is a subsidiary of Beard Vape Co. LFNT or LFNT is the company for this, which is subsidiary or the sister company of Beard Vape Co. This is a strawberry version, which is strawberry. Goddamn. Gnats. Strawberry cereal with strawberry milk and strawberry glazed donut. So it's a sweet juice pastry, one of my favorite, but you're getting all the notes inside. I can taste everything. It has that nice milky, creamy taste. I'm getting the strawberry perfectly, and I'm getting that sweet glaze, and it all just goes really well. So the tank does what it's supposed to do. It's getting your flavors there. So overall, would I say it's worth it? Yes. Would I suggest picking up one? Most definitely. If you can get a hold of one right now, pick it up. You can always get in our group at the International Vapers Lounge. Don't forget to answer the questions to get in. I always tell people I will not approve it or any of the other mods or admins in there. And if you have a question on anything, feel free to ask. Our group is focusing on everybody. You know, advocacy, people, questions on how to do builds, what kind of builds, anything that you may have a question about when it comes to vaping, feel free to ask. We've got someone in there probably can do it, whether it's do-it-yourself juice or how to build or, you know, something safe, you know, whatever it could be. Come in the group. We're there to help out. We're also, you know, helping people finding high-end, you know, devices. You know, right now I live here in the Philippines, and my other admin, he's in the U.S., and we usually trade back and forth on places. He comes here, and I go back to the States every year. So when we do these rotations, you know, I open up in the group to say, hey, do y'all need me to bring something back? You know, ordering products, whether it's Vicious Ant, something like this that goes during that time. Other mods that you may see here, MCM, MCV, anything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment down below, and let me know things you'd like to see, maybe that I can improve on, things that if I can, that you would like to see, I'll do my best for you. And, you know, don't forget to follow us in our group, International Vapers Lounge on Facebook. I'll leave that below in the description as well for you. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.